Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Chinese Mom in Business Club, the Kunbi interview. This episode is all about making dramatic changes in life and your career. I mean, all of us have the moment when we're having frustrations in our life where we're saying, my gosh, I wanted to making a plunge, do something extraordinarily different. But not many of us actually do that. So our guest today, Emma, actually made the plunge and made a very successful transition from investment banker to an entrepreneur in a very totally different industry. So I'm so excited we have her today to actually share her journey and story with all of us, because I know a lot of mom out there, motherhood normally is a trigger for you to rethink your life and your career. So I'm hoping you're going to stay tuned with us and really enjoy the conversation. So Emma, along with my wonderful co-host Sally, we really appreciate you to join us today and share your story.
Well, thank you both so much for having me. It's an honor, honestly, to speak to you and your audience. Really looking forward to it. So please ask away.
Right,
Fantastic.
I'm going to start straight away. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Emma. So I understand that you had a big career shift from an investment banker to a product designer and entrepreneur. You launched your company Strolleazi in June 2019. Already, your product has won a Red Dot Design Concept Award in 2021. And then early this year, in February 2022, Business Leader News actually named your company as one of the 32 companies set to take 2022 by storm. So behind all this achievement within the last 2 years, so what is actually your drive and passion to make it happen?
Sure. So the idea for Strolleazi really was born following the birth of my daughter at the end of 2018 now. And when I became a parent, I was exposed for the first time to all of the paraphernalia that parents need to buy just to leave the house with your baby. You have all these different modules of prams and car seats. You have the small baby infant carrier, which only lasts up to about a year. Then you need the toddler seat for a bigger child, an ISOFIX base. You can buy fashionable chunky prams. So for example, this would be your bugaboo. And then there's lighter weight, more travel options available on the market, like the yo-yo. So I found it really overwhelming with all the choice that you have available to you. And all of the products on the market solve for specific parts of your child's life, but no one was really solving for the journey throughout childhood. So with fresh eyes looking at the industry, I found it super inconvenient, really wasteful with all these separate purchases that only lasted such a short period of time. So I thought, well, there has to be a better solution out there. My fiance and I, who is also my partner in the business, basically researched everything that was available. And we really like the convenience of the doona. I don't know if you're either familiar with this, but it's basically a car seat which has foldable legs attached. But unlike other modules, that only lasted up to about a year. So we basically set out to build a solution that was more convenient for parents, that integrates all these different units into a single system that grows with baby. And in order to do that, we have an amazing team of people who are all from the big competitors in the industry, that between them have something crazy like over 150 years experience in the industry. And we set out to design something that is stylish, safe, and sustainable. So these core principles are what I found to be very important when making purchases for my Ella, which is why we wanted that in the system. But to answer your question, the passion and the drive behind the brand is really my daughter, Ella, who gave my fiance and I the idea for Strolleazi. And our branding is actually based on her little feet.
So I see.
So cute.
Makes sense.
I remember we were renting a flat in Belsize Park in London at the time, and she managed to knock over a coffee on this beautiful cream carpet. And I remember thinking, oh no, we're not going to get our rental deposit back. But then I saw these little feet with coffee and a stain on the carpet. And that's really what gave me the inspiration for the little footprints behind the brand.
Wow, fantastic. What a story to talk about your logo. I mean, that's basic for me immediately. Now I really remember that. I mean, just hear that story, Emma. I know obviously as an entrepreneur, business is your second baby, basically. Is now acceptable and super. So really we wanted to know about you. So really in 3 kind of sentences or less, tell us a little bit more about you.
Sure. Well, outside of the business, as you say, which is almost my second baby, I absolutely love spending time with my family. So thankfully, we're all very similar, and we all love doing the same things, which is eating lovely food, drinking lovely wine, except for my daughter, who's a bit young. And when we find the time, we love to go traveling, obviously without COVID restrictions. My guilty pleasure is Net-a-Porter, although since becoming a mum, that tends to be far less frequent now. So yeah, for me, it's very much about family time. It sounds a bit sad, but they're my hobby. Outside of the business, there's not a lot of time for anything else.
Well, it's not sad. You speak for every mom right now watching this. That's basically our life, so no resistance for that.
Yes. So I would love to learn more from you, Emma. What was your greatest challenge you have faced at work so far, and how did you overcome it?
It's a very interesting one. I'm holding my ears.
It's a hard one to answer
I
because
know.
throughout the years, there's obviously different challenges and different things that present themselves. But I think my overarching one, if I think back to my previous career working in the city in finance, as you mentioned, that's obviously a very male-dominated place. So especially when I was younger, I remember this feeling of imposter syndrome and constantly second-guessing myself, which I found it really hard at the time because you obviously want to excel and do an extremely good job, but this constant doubting of yourself, you're kind of the architect of your own insecurity. And as I've gotten older, I've come to learn that actually that's not a weakness, that is actually a strength, because you are constantly learning and developing. And that's what, that's where the really great stuff happens.
Great. So as I mentioned, Emma, in the very beginning, so I have been actually stalk you for a while since you accepted the interview, and so I'm looking forward to see you instantly when you actually come on the screen, and give me the first feeling is that kind of Parisian, very stylish mom. I felt like you should be your brand ambassador of your brand, and that's truly expressed when I was looking at your LinkedIn post about your products and your website. It really, that feeling transcended to me, is that stylish, is that kind of easy use, and that really transcended seriously to me. Like Paris, I dress very stylish, and I have a baby, I can wear my high heel and then rolling around. So that's, I'm sure that's one part of the overall design you wanted the new moms or old moms having more babies to feel. So obviously I really want to know, in terms of what other special about the property apart from the design. Just tell us a little bit more about your product, about the buggy. Maybe you might convince me have another one for that.
Firstly, I'm so sorry to your husband. Secondly, I just thank you so much. That's such wonderful feedback to hear, because this is exactly what we want parents to feel when they see Strolleazi. The team and I spent an incredible amount of time styling the stroller in the car seat to have these really beautiful smooth lines, incorporate really soft and sustainable fabrics into the whole system that come into contact with baby, and then promote baby's natural well-being, so that the overall experience is really luxurious for parents and children alike. The product has, goodness me, so many amazing features that have been tirelessly designed and tested to make sure that the experience of using the system is flawless and as enjoyable as it can be for parents. And that was really important to me because everything's been designed from scratch. with the core principle of making parents' lives more convenient. And as I say, that was so important to me, so that then parents can spend more time enjoying the precious moments with their children. I would say the overarching feature, without giving too much away because we're still pre-launch, is basically that what makes Strolleazi really special and unlike anything on the market today is that it's a single integrated system that grows with baby from birth all the way to 6 years old. So
Wow.
thank you. One of the, I'm trying to recall, one of the media articles we had written on us, I can't remember if it was Business Leader or Gramercy, they referred to Strolleazi as reinventing the traditional travel system. So that's really where we see ourselves, combining all of these multiple disparate units into a single system that grows with baby, that offers something stylish, safe and sustainable. So that, I would say, is the overarching feature that really makes us special.
I'm so upset with you, Emma. Launching so late. I mean, I had 3 children now, and then wasting so much money. I mean, thousands money on baggage and twin baggage with 1 or 2. So now, I mean, is with this one up to 6 years. I think that's just incredible. It's, you know, it's really worth to have that, so you can have the one system without like overwhelming what should I buy. So in terms of your product launching, what's the timeline you're going to launch the product?
So we've been working on this product now for a couple of years. I really underestimated, if I'm honest, when I first started this journey, how long it would take to develop something that is absolutely perfect, which has all of the features and all of the core principles behind it that we wanted. I remember when I first started, I wanted to have a prototype ready in 6 months and be at market 6 months later. In terms of mechanical engineering, unfortunately, it's not that simple, and the whole manufacturing process. So we have a finished design. We're in production currently, and we're looking to launch beginning to middle of next year. Having said that, I'm always really keen to get parents involved in our journey as early as possible. So we are doing things like running consumer groups late in the summer, where we're inviting parents to come and join us basically and test out off-tool samples, is what they're called. So it's basically the finished product that parents can like have in their hands, touch and feel everything, see how everything works, and give us some real-time feedback on things like features and functionality, fashions. So this is the color schemes that we're going to offer, such that basically our community and target audience can help us develop the system that everybody wants.
That's amazing. So we would love to have you to come to do the interview with us again when the product is official. Really show us. Maybe you can really and show exactly what that means, being a Parisian mom and stylish with that. And obviously, China now released the one-child policy, and basically people can have more children. So hopefully, I'm sure that will be when everything open up, that could be a huge market for you in terms of consumer market. So I'm sure right now all the hard work you are doing to make it perfect, it will really worth it in the long term when you go into a different market, for example, like Asia and China. It's absolutely I'm sure they will adore your product.
Oh, thank you so much. Again, amazing feedback. And I think, there is such a market opportunity, like you say, and China is definitely a priority for us in terms of a market and consumer that we would, like to have a part of the journey and part of our product. So yeah, it's absolutely something that is very exciting for us. And with us manufacturing, out in China as well, it's a natural day one market for us. So I'd be honored to showcase the product to you with all the amazing features and everything really, once we have all the off-tool samples ready to disclose to the world.
Fantastic.
Can't wait. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Last question. What kind of mother are you, Emma? Are you a tiger mom?
We got to ask this because we are a Chinese community. We love tiger mothers, but we don't.
I would describe myself as one. Although if you speak to my fiance, he might tell you differently. I think, for me, it's really important to instill really high standards in our children right from the start, so that they're respectful, kind, and treat others as they would wish to be treated. And educationally, I think this is very, very important, to set your child up with the best chances in life. So my daughter Ella, she's a very sweet girl. She's really clever, and I'm so glad that she has a clear passion for learning. She's only 3.5, but I can really see that she actually loves learning. Having said that, she does get very distracted when Ben and Holly's Little Kingdom is on.
Of course.
So I would describe myself as 1, but my fiance has given me the odd feedback that I'm a bit soft. So that what you will.
Wow, it's always a balance, isn't it?
Totally.
Fantastic. Cool. So time really flies. I mean, it definitely is really a flow of your journey, and Emma, and love to hear about the story, how actually your image, the logo came out, and that's a very, very sweet story. And I hopefully everyone actually enjoyed it, most importantly inspired, because this is what Emma's journey of transition or making dramatic changes exactly, or lots of moms out there, particularly Chinese mom, we're a little bit reserved, we're a little bit like thinking too much, and then becoming a mom and really give you different perspective to thinking about what you want from your life and work balance, and what you want being a role model to your daughters or your son. And then hopefully Emma's story really encouraging you to take the first step, just to take the first step, and then believing in the vision, like Emma say, take you longer than you thought to launch the product. But the perfection, that's the thing you wanted to do. You wanted to get a product which you believe in to the consumer market, and then you involve in and skill people in the industry. And that's the entrepreneurhood is always about challenging ourselves, always about challenge, is all about, oh my gosh, we can't do it anymore, but not giving up and continue doing that. So it's really true essence of motherhood and entrepreneur. So I hopefully you really inspired like me, and we're looking forward to see you next time. And thank you very much, Emma, for your time and then your story and sharing with us today.
No, thank you so much for having me. As I say, it's an honor to talk to you and your community, and I'm happy to do it again when we're a bit further along, for sure. I would say whenever I talk to anyone about starting their own thing, the scariest part is actually doing it, because we can all research for hours and hours and hours, and don't get me wrong, that is extremely important to research what you're going into, but nothing will prepare you for actually doing it. Like you say, you have to persevere, and there's always challenges, and there's always a reason not to do something. It's one of those things that you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. I think the biggest step for me was certainly taking the first step and the first leap. So
I'm sure. I think Sally will grow as well. She's running her own business.
Yes, making looks as well. Yes, just do it.
Cool. Fantastic. Thank you, everyone. And see you next time.
Thank you.